Hello friends, Kenji, back again for another edition of Drafting with Numot, this time with a Zendikar Worldwake draft. Last week we had triple Zendikar, this week it is Zendikar Worldwake. The format is still pretty fast, but it has taken a little bit slower of a turn. Still some awesome things you can do in this format, and oh my god, I opened a Valakut. Well, I'm going to take this and I'm going to force mono red, and that's just what we're going to do through this draft. Correct pick? Probably Disfigure. Other good cards in this pack: Cliff Threader, Blade Tusk Boar, Core Aeronaut. Greenweaver Druid's great in the green decks. Figment's fine. But we're going to run the Valakut. If you first pick this card, it is well, not super easy. A lot easier to build around it than if not, of course. This way you can pick up Expedition maps pretty highly because they can find your Valakut. You can force the mono red, and it is fun. So we're taking the Valakut, we're forcing mono red, and I don't care what anybody else thinks because that's what we're doing. Here we have a Torch Slinger and basically nothing else. Generally I would take Blazing Torch here, but because we're trying to force the red, I want to cut it off as hard as possible, and Torch Slinger is a perfectly fine playable. 2/2 for 3, obviously not great in this format, but passable. But 5 mana for a 2/2 that also kills something, well, not too shabby. This pack is just poor otherwise, so we'll take the Torch Slinger and continue to cut off the red. Get a Tuk Grunts and a Shatterskull Giant here. None of these are the best card in the pack. I think that belongs to Grazing Gladeheart. And then there are some good black cards in the form of Mosquito, Quest, and Sellsword. But I'll take the Shatterskull Giant here. Again, we're trying to cut off red. I want to force the Valakut. This card is sweet when you get it to work. This is a case of the do as I say, not as I do. But hey, you know what is a good signal? 4th pick Plated GP. This is one of the best commons in the format. It just attacks as a 3/3 first strike. And super happy to get it here. Other good cards in the pack. Core Hookmaster is good. Ruin Blaster is actually just fine, not great. Kraken Hatchlings does a ton of work in the blue decks. And then, of course, Territorial Bailoff. But yeah, 4th pick Geopede is actually just a huge sign for red already. So if I can force the mono red and it's open, oh baby. Oh baby, are we going to be in a good spot. This could be fun. That's all I'm saying. Now again, we are looking for Expedition maps, and because there are Worldwake cards in the last pack, you only have 2 packs to find Expedition maps, but generally people don't take that card, right? It doesn't have value in this format unless you have some relevant lands like we do in Valakut. So let's keep the train rolling. And not a good pack for us. Zekdar Shrine Expedition and Tuk Grunts, again, not amazing. I think I'd rather take the Tuk than the Zekdar Shrine. Good cards in this pack. Harrow is good. Vampire Lacerator is pretty decent, honestly. And then Quest for the Gem Blades is also fine. We're going to keep cutting off red here. I'm going to take the Tuk. Not my favorite pick, but it's going to be the one I'm taking. Wow, another Grazing Gladeheart, but who cares? All I see is red. Here we have another Shatterskull, a Puma, and a Ruinous Minotaur. Minotaur obviously does not combo with Valakut in that you have to sacrifice land, but it hits hard, and a lot of times you're just trading away happily. But here, I think we'll go with the Giant. I mean, maybe the correct pick is Puma, just because I've taken a Tuk Grunts now, and it's cheaper. But Giant is actually a huge beating. 3 toughness in this format is huge. So, Puma could be the correct pick, but again, we're going to be cutting off red. Gladeheart, the best card in the pack. Another Tuk. We're going to pass that up for our very first Expedition map. Not much to say. Happy about this pick. And looking forward to forcing this mono red. Going to take the Molten Ravager here over the 3rd Shatterskull Giant. It does look like red's pretty open. And Molten Ravager is honestly great in this deck. Not only is it 4 toughness for 3 mana, which means it blocks everything early game, but later in the game this just hits for 5 damage, or at least it has the potential to hit for so much damage that a lot of times it's just eating one of the opponent's creatures, or they have to like double block it because of the 4 toughness, and you get to 2 for 1. So alright, Bushwhackers on the wheel here, not too bad. There is a Cliff Threader in the pack, which is obviously scary, but happy to take it. Alright, again, I'm just going to take the red card even if it's not playable. Runeflare Trap deals damage to target player equal to the number of cards in that player's hand. And then if somebody drew 3 or more cards in a turn, you can pay a red instead of its cost. So, whatever. Okay, these are all fine cards. We'll hate on the Vines of Vastwood. Seismic Shudder, probably not going to be played, but again, it's a red card, so we'll just hate on it. And yeah, I think this first pack actually went really well for mono red. Generally, you don't get this many playables, and although we're a little bit top-end heavy, I think we're in a good spot. We're definitely looking to pick up Burst Lightning, Punishing Fire, any burn spell, pretty much. Magma Rift is fine, not amazing. You're not super keen on taking it because it doesn't... Well, you have to sacrifice a land, but push comes to shove. I will take a Magma Rift if that's the case. Let's hope pack 2 can give us some good removal goodies. But I think, again, first pack went pretty well. Especially that 4th pick plated GOP. That was just a big signal. I think this card is very first pickable. Come on, baby. Give me them whammies. Give me them whammies. I'm probably going to open something crazy. Obnixilis or something. Just be sad. But have to pass it along. Sphinx of Lost Truths. Ugh. This card is very good. 5 mana, 3/5 flyer that loots 3. Yeah, pretty nice. And then if you pay 7, it's just draw 3. But I'll happily take the Inferno Trap here. It is the best red card in the pack. All these other ones are not very good. Other fine cards: Step Links, Outfitter, Woodcrasher, Crypt Ripper. Probably not wheeling anything of note. Maybe Unstable Footing, which you're not happy about, but in a pinch, it's fine. Can we just live the Valakut dream, please? I actually think it's Spire Barrage here over the Murasa Pyromancer. I don't have any allies except for the Tuk Tuk Grunts as of yet, and although you can pick up some more allies in the next pack, I think the Spire Barrage is just going to be great. Generally, you can kind of just burn your opponent out from nowhere with back-to-back Spire Barrages or whatnot. Hexmage in the pack, as well as a Harrow. Even Core Sanctifiers is fine, but we'll take the red card. And we'll take another red card. My curve is very high right now for red, but Geyser Glider is pretty decent. Shrine and Slaughter Cry are both fine, not amazing, and I don't want to take a Hedron Scrabbler, so. This is one of the better red finishers, but again, with only 1/2 drop right now, I'm wishing our curve looked like this, as opposed to this. Where are my Highland Berserkers? Where am I can't even think of another red 2-drop right now other than Plated Geopede. I just want this to work once so you guys can see the power of the delicious Valakut. Well, things are quickly going downhill. This is, what, the 3rd Vampire Hexmage we've seen? No other red cards here. Jeez, I guess we're taking No, I don't even want to play Teetering Peaks because it's not a mountain. In fact, I guess I'll just hate on the Vampire Hexmage. Wow, that's gross. I'll do Cleric in the pack, but I guess we're happily taking another Goblin Bushwhacker. Seeker, Ripper, Cleric, Welkin turn. And here I am taking a 1/1 for 1. But that's the world we live in. And wow, jeez. So red's getting cut off in this direction. I might have a hard time finding enough playables in the 3rd pack. This 2nd pack has just not been good for us. I haven't even seen another expedition map. That's gross. I mean, I think pack red was open in pack 1. It's just pack 2 we haven't seen much red. Maybe there wasn't much red opened. So in pack 3 I think we should be okay as long as a decent number are opened. And you know, we're picking up some fine playables here. Shortcutter and Minotaur I will happily put into the deck. Even worst case scenario, we have to run like Seismic Shudder, which is honestly a fine sideboard card, although you would prefer not to main deck it. Ooh, baby. Come on. Alright, Tuk Tuk Grunts wheeled. We're going to take it, and we're not going to be happy about it because we have way too many 3+ drops. Super late Harrow. Yeah, if I could cut both of these Tuk Tuks, I would love to do so. and just fill up on 2s and 3s. But it might be hard to do so, considering we only have one more pack to go, and I don't think we're wheeling any of the red cards, because there weren't many. Alright, Hedron Scrabbler, get in. You're a low drop, and I'm happy to take you now. Although, that tends to happen quite frequently, honestly. You're like, I don't want to take this Hedron Scrabbler, I can't play it, and then you end up taking it because it wheels, and you still need playables. Okay, we'll just hit on a Whiplash Trap. Again, we do not want to run Teetering Peaks. I think it's fine to run like one, maybe, in a Valakut deck, but I'd prefer not to. A Mountain with Valakut is basically a Lightning Bolt, whereas Teetering Peaks is 2 damage. Oh, I have 3 Seismic Shutters in my sideboard right now. Kind of silly. Okay, pack 3. Give me the red goodies, baby. Give me the red goodies. Searing Blaze? Yeah, Searing Blaze is in this, potentially. Oh, God. Core Firewalker, Stoneforge Mystic. And the only red card in this pack is a 5-drop. Like, Smother. Ay. 2-max? I think we're just getting unlucky. I think we're just not opening red cards. I'm not taking the Grotag Thrasher here. I think the card is playable, but it probably wheels. Yeah, this is not going well. Let's see, Stoneforge Mystic is worth a ticket, so it's not even worth taking. I guess I'm just going to hate on the Core Firewalker and cry. Red cards, please. Ooh, Talus Paladin is great. It's a 3/4. Whenever another ally enters the battlefield, you get to put a 1/1 counter on Talus Paladin, and all your allies gain lifelink. Here we'll be taking the 2/1 for 2. No upside. Generally, this card is great in the red-black decks, but as we're not running nothing but red sources, it's just going to be a 2/1 for us. Rough Rider in the pack as well. Hopefully we wheel one of these cards. More red. Okay. Just extremely unlucky. Extremely unlucky. More insane black cards coming around. We'll take the Kite Sail here. It actually goes quite well with like my Shatterskull Giants and whatnot. But hey, this is what I signed up for. I opened Valakut and we're forcing red. It's just we're not seeing many red cards. I don't think many red cards were being opened, which, again, is just extremely unfortunate, unlucky. But that being said, we're still kind of getting there. That was pick 3 of pack 3. So, potentially 5 more packs to find good red cards. Like a Searing Blaze! Alright, we're doing it. Phew! That's a start. That's one of the cards we were looking for, and I think we've cut off red hard enough that any of them will probably make it around to us. Lava Claw Reaches in the pack. Even Claws of Valakut I would like to wheel, but gotta slam that Searing Blaze. Crusher Zendikar's fine. It's a 4/2 trample for 3. Other good cards in the pack as well. Maybe wheel the Walking Atlas, but happy to take the red card here. We're at 18 right now, and that's with both the Tuk Grunts in the sideboard and all of the Seismic Shutters in the sideboard. So if I can find like 4 more playables, we might be in salvaging here. Still short on removal. I didn't pick up any Burst Lightnings in the first 2 packs, which sucks. I mean, obviously those cards are taken highly, but this is not where you want to be. If I could get one more late Searing Blaze, I'd feel very, very happy. And again, red, I think we've cut off well enough that it's possible if there's another Searing Blaze in one of the packs that we haven't seen, we can get it. Come on, for Valakut. Please one time for Valakut. Everflowing Chalice, Akum Battle Singer, Razor Boomerang. I think this is the only ally I have if I'm not running the Tuk Grunts, right? Chalice is not doing much in our deck, and I think Razor Boomerang is bleh. I'll take the Battle Singer here. It's a 2/1 haste on the turn you cast it. Ooh, okay. You're not supposed to put all of the red cards in one pack, but Rough Rider and Cozy's Ravager are both fine. Even Hedron Rover is playable as a 4/4 on attack. I think we'd rather have the Rough Rider here than the Cozy's Ravager. just because it comes down a turn sooner. But Ravager's definitely fine. Alright, we're at 20. I'm probably going to put in one of the Tuk-Tuk Grunts now as well, and if we can find one more playable, either in this last pack that we haven't seen or potentially on the wheel, I think we're in fine shape. Our creature quality is okay. Our removal quality is poor. But we have Valakut. And that's all that really matters, my friends. That is all that really matters. Okay. Ricochet Trap, not so good. Change the target of target spell with a single target. Rolling Terrain, also not so good. What's a better main deck? Probably Ricochet Trap? Question mark. Alright, there's the Thrasher on the wheel. Although I'm not too fond of that. Rolling Terrain, maybe. There's that other Grotag Thrasher. I guess I'll happily run one. Well, no, I'm not saying happily. I'm going to run one. And I think that's going to be the... Oh, never mind. There it is. Wield of Claws. That's great. That's great, because this is one of the better cards for this type of deck. More Rolling Terrains. Roiling, not rolling. Roiling Terrain. Yeah, I mean, put a Kite Sail on something, put a Claws of Valakut on it, you get like a 2 or 3 turn clock. I think I'm going to cut the Tuk-Tuk Grunt. I think it's probably my worst 5-drop. 3/3 Haste for Fine is not great, especially when I only have one other ally to pump it. And Thrasher, Geyser Glider, forcing a lot of damage. Spire Barrage, obviously just great in this type of deck. Alright, not too shabby, not too shabby. Second pack went really poor for us, but the packs 1 and 3 kind of salvaged, I suppose. Again, I said it earlier, but I think there weren't many red cards opened. And that's sometimes what happens, but we're going to salvage. We're going to put Valakut in, we're going to put in 17 Mountains, and we're going to submit. Alright, here we are for deck building. Add basics, add 17, and submit. Pretty easy. We will see you guys for round 1. Don't go anywhere. Here we are for round 1 of our Zendikar Worldwake draft with our mono red deck. We're going to play first, and... yeah, this is a keeper. Turn 2 play to Geopede. 18 lands in the deck means we still have 16 lands left in 33 cards, so... hopefully, we're able to find another land in the first 2 or 3 draw steps. Ideally by turn 3. I'm going to go ahead and lead with Goblin Bushwhacker here for the curve. A lot of the times it's good to hold this and surprise, but when I'm missing lands like this, I think it's better just to play it out on turn 1, on the play especially. If the opponent keeps a little bit of a slower hand, this should be able to get in for at least 2 or 3 points of damage, and then I can always Claws of Valakut it up later, should I need to. Alright, opponent mulligan to 6, says, "Alone, drats, where's your stream?" Numot Ghost. Alright, Bushwhacker. I'm going to lead off with you. Hopefully the opponent doesn't have any early plays. Swamp Vampire Lacerator, LOL. Goldraz, that's fine. Happily trade off here if the opponent lets me to. Allows me to. Well, that's not a land, but it is something that we can cast, so not the worst case scenario. How many disfigures did I pass this draft? At least 1, maybe 2. No blocks, okay. Well, now the card I have to worry about is Marsh Casualties. It is uncommon, but that card can easily just wreck my face. Alright, half my deck is land. Let's draw one next turn, please. That would be splendid. Absolutely splendid. Opponent with 2 mana. And what do you got? What do you have, friend? Surikar Marauder. Alright. Another good black creature. No land for us. Pretty sad news. Alright. Well, I'm going to attack with the Bushwhacker here. Leave back the Geopede. If I attack with a Geopede, the opponent can double block it. Which is maybe not the worst, but... Oh, now they want to trade? Okay. That's fine with me. Our our Hedron Scrabbler can actually block the Surikar Marauder. So we were about 50% to draw land turn 2. We were 50% to draw land that last turn, and now we'll be just over 50% to draw it this next turn. So it'll be pretty bad luck if I don't find another land. Okay, no attacks from the opponent, so they do realize that they can block. Land here. Bam! Wow. Okay, so 75 and... about 87% to draw land within those last few turns, but we didn't. Ugh, this is just pretty unlucky. I mean, one more land and I can cast everything in my hand, right? Played a Geopede would have already gotten in for 6 damage as opposed to 1. Hexmage is obviously good. We have one of those in our sideboard that we hated on. We'll see if the opponent wants to attack for 3 here with their Corrupted Zendikar. Give me a land, baby. Give me a land. Okay, I'll take 3, go to 17. Hey, and we finally found a land. All right. I think we're going to play out the Molten Ravager here. It's resilient, and it can block all of the opponent's creatures. Claws of Valakut is not very good yet, just because the Hexmage also has First Strike, so effectively just be trading away any of my 2-drops. Alright, a Soulstare Expedition from the opponent who didn't have a land last turn, so they might not have a land again this turn. And it looks like both players are sitting back with lack of lands. Woohoo! Hello, friend. Valakut, obviously a spicy draw there. And now I think we're probably going to claws up our Molten Ravager. It's a good turn to do it. We can attack with both the Geopede and the Molten Ravager here. Still can't attack in with either of the other 2 creatures because of the Hexmage. That's, again, possible that the opponent has like a Vampire's Bite or something, but looks like they did not, because they did not block. Ah, a Mountain from the opponent. Okay. So clearly they were not on the mono-black plan. Let's see, 4 lands. There are 14 left in the deck, so exactly half of our deck is land right now. Could be finding a Tomb Hex in my very near future. Not much I can do about that, though. I think we passed, what, 2 of them? Oh, this is a Magma Rift. Looks like they're sacrificing a land. No. I don't know anymore. 4 mana, okay. Ah, the Ghoul-Draw Spectre. Alright. Annoying, but not the worst. Crusher Zendikar now. It's not a very exciting draw. It's fine though. I can animate the land and attack in with it. When they block with the Vampire Hexmage, it re-enables landfall for me. I think we're much more interested in just attacking out with a Molten Ravager here, though. They have to chump it, basically, which is obviously great. And here... I think we're going to play out the Ruinous Minotaur. It doesn't really matter which one I play, I suppose. The Hexmage still just stops both of them. I'll be discarding the Goblin Rough Rider here. Nothing I can do about that. Not much I can do about that. So it's going to be a 5/5. It's crazy how much work that Vampire Hexmage is doing versus me. That being said, if I draw Searing Blaze next turn, I guess I can shoot down the Hexmage even without landfall. What other removal do I have? I don't have a Blazing Torch, do I? I have like a Kite Sail. Kite Sail would be insane. Alright, what else do you got, opponent? Ah, there's the Magma Rift. Okay, so that's what I thought they had last turn. Alright, landfall trigger is not bad for us. If they block the two biggest, they still take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, go to 2. So they have to block... No, they don't have to block that. We're going to make their Ghoul draws big here, but I think it's worth it. Make sure we tap the one that's newly controlled. And we'll bash with everything. So the Hexmage will eat one of my X2 big creatures, which is fine. 4, 5, 6, 7. This is lethal if you block like that. The swamp, or rather the mountain's going to come back into our hand, but they might just make us discard it with the Ghoul draws. But then again, if they're attacking with Ghoul draws, that means they're losing out on a blocker. And we don't need this land, really. Sure. Sure. They did the smart way. Now they're not taking any trample damage. They are still taking 7 damage in total, though. But we knew what we were signing up for, and this is obviously fine. Alright. Land goes back to our hand. Swamp goes back to their hand. They get another landfall trigger. But now if they draw a land this turn, they're only going to have 3 mana as opposed to 4. All of my creatures are lethal with a landfall trigger. It might be the opponent's best line to, if they have another creature that they can play, attack with the Ghoul draws, make me discard the mountain, and hope I don't draw another land. Then they're just at 1 on board, as opposed to dead. Because they know I have a mountain in my hand, so they probably have to get rid of it, or just play out another chumper. Interesting position. Alright, looks like they are going to go with the make me discard my mountain. So it deals 2, but then it becomes a 5/5. And now they need to play another creature here, or have a removal spell in hand. They were still in damage step, sir. Alright, 50% to win, if this is just a creature. 50% to just win. Give me the land. Sad face. I guess I attack in with Geopede. Because I'm fine if it trades away with Vampire Hexmage. Like, what if I attack with everything? The opponent blocks here, takes 1. Maybe that's bad. Maybe I guess I just sit back on the Geopede. Yeah, they don't have to block it. Plus, I guess I don't really want to trade away. It's too bad. A land was lethal there. Gotta play out the Shatter Skull, otherwise the opponent just attacks with their gold draws. But now we're not in a great position. That was the turn we really just needed to have drawn a land and killed them. Although they might make the same play that they made last turn. Worst case scenario, I guess, is actually if they draw a land. Because if they draw a land, then they can get back both the gold draws and the Zendikar Marauder. Alright, there's a land. I'm going to go for it now. If they have a removal spell, they have it. But I think it's correct to do so at this point. Hideous End gets me good. Burst Lightning gets me. Disfigure gets me. On the very bright side, they don't get to kill both Shatter Skull and Geopede here. The Ghoul Draws gets to eat one of the creatures, but whew, looks like they didn't have anything. And so after this mountain, this was going to be a Lightning Bolt, and Spire Barrage obviously would have been insane there. Battle of the no lands. Alright, Seismic Shudder is bad, but a consideration. We saw Hexmage, we saw Ruin Blaster, we saw what's it called? The Ghoul Draws Vampire. There was one more in their graveyard. The Zendikar Marauder. Like, as bad as this might be correct. This might be correct. I think I'm going to bring in one Shudder and take out the Battle Singer. We can definitely craft a position where Shudder is good, I think, and so it's worth it to bring it in. And let's go to game 2. Which starts immediately. We are on the draw. Nice one-lander in your 18-land deck. In fact, this hand is just the grossest. Yep, we're going to go down to 6 here. As did the opponent. This is honestly not a bad keep, given what we've seen from the opponent. I'm going to go ahead and keep it and hope that Seismic Shudder just gets them pretty good. At least a 2-for-1. Yeah, we'll leave Bushwhacker on top. It's not that good, but I think it's okay. We're going to just hold on to this Bushwhacker, though. I'm not going to play it out as a 1-1, especially on the draw. Has much better value later on. No 1 or 2 drops from opponent, huh? I'm still going to hold on to this Bushwhacker. It gets in for 2 damage there. They probably have a 3-drop. Just don't Nighthawk me, bro. Alright, Rough Rider. Where were you last turn, friend? That's what I want to know. Where were you last turn? The nice thing with GOP is that I can play a land, give it +2/+2, and then cast Seismic Shudder. Should we need to pull the trigger on it? Brutal mulligans, though. Quest for the Gravelord could also be very problematic for us. On the bright side, we have our lands. Another Rough Rider. Okay. Hey, that's not a bad draw. Ravager does a pretty good job at just holding back a lot of creatures. Now, I can't double pump it, which means the opponent probably still attacks in with both their 3/2s, but it will be good on successive turns. I'm playing into like a Marsh Casualties here, or any pump spell from the opponent, but I think saving 3 is worth it. And I'm actually going to go ahead and give it +1 power, so that if they do have a march casualties or a way to deal 1 damage to everything of their own, then their Rough Rider also dies. Okay. Claws. Ooh, that's spicy. That is, in fact, very spicy. What happened to all of your X1s, opponent? Now they're playing a bunch of X2s. So with Grotag Thrasher and Claws of Valakut, we can do a ton of damage out of nowhere. Pre-combat, that's not good for me. Oh, there's a Ghoul Draws. And a Plated Geopede. So I need to draw a land next turn. Shoot. Well, if I don't trade away the Thrasher, then their Ghoul Draws Vampire becomes a 3/2 with Intimidate. Can I actually kill the opponent next turn with a land? A land is 3, 6, 12. 13? I'd be 1 damage short with a land? Oh my. Oh, I mean, I guess the Ravager's obviously blocking one of these, but... Let's see if the Thrasher doesn't... Because... The Seismic Shredder won't be able to kill the Ghoul Draz if I take all of this damage here. I'm wondering if I need to trade. Alright, so I block here. I take 6, go to 8. This becomes a 3/2. I can make it unable to block. If I draw a land, we land. Seismic to kill the Plated Geopede. Land, Seismic, Claws, and 1 pump. That's 3, 6, 12, 13. Oh, damn it. What if I Bushwhack instead? Block here. Take 6. Land, Seismic, Bushwhacker. That's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's still 13 damage. Oh. I think I'm 1 damage short no matter how I cut this. I think I might need to block with the Thrasher. This is interesting. This is very interesting. This is also based on me drawing a land here. Okay, so what if I just take this, go to 8. I could Claws. I could force them to chump with Ghoul Draws, I guess, and play Bushwhack. But no, but then they'd also get a 5/5. They'd also get a 5/5. Wow, this is really close. Okay, I think the best line is now to take it instead, since a land we'd leave them at 1. Okay, there's the land. So trigger online. I think we are supposed to Seismic. That kills their Plated Geopede. This is 3, 6. Claws up the Plated Geopede. Attack with both. Leave back the Molten Ravager and play the Bushwhacker to block. This is 13 damage. So close. So close. Obviously dead to any removal from the opponent, but not much I can do about that. I wonder, if I'd played the Bushwhacker turn 1, would we have won? Maybe, right? Because the Bushwhacker would have got in for... I was on the draw, so it would have got in for... Let's see, they play their land pass. I play Bushwhacker pass. They play land 2 pass. No, I would have gotten in for 1 damage. If they have a removal spell, they have a removal spell. That also kills me. Exactly. Very close game. I think we played to the best of our ability. I still think we leave in the Seismic Shudder. I mean, that feels just like bad luck there. So close, though. So close. Yep, let's ship it back and go to a Game 3. Game 3, round 1 with our mono red deck versus the black red deck. Let's play first, and... an unfortunate keep. I don't think you go down to 6, but obviously this hand is quite lackluster. I feel like we're getting some pretty unfortunate draws with our deck. Crusher Zendikar's not a bad one, though. Granted, I can't attack with the land until turn 4, so hopefully I can draw something else to do next turn. Opponent with a Ruthless Coldblade. 2-1 that turns into a 4-2 if the opponent has 10 or less life. Alright, no love for us. And I think I'm going to leave back the Scrabbler to block. Since we have Valakut in the deck, we kind of want to just get to a late game position. Alright, that's highly annoying, but so be it. Oh, no attacks! Oh, okay, I like that. I don't like drawing another land. Yeah, I think we just have to make our Zendikar a land now and pass. Oh, brutal. Give me Expedition Map or Valakut, please. Alright, there's red from the opponent. If they kill my Crusher here, I won't be able to cast Grow Tag out next turn. Good old Ghoul draws. Alright. That stinks. Okay, we can get in with the Scrabbler here. Going to be taking quite a bit of damage if the opponent has a removal spell for my Thrasher, but currently I don't think there's much of a better option that I have. Really just need to draw Searing Blaze. This could be Magma Rift, I guess. Hit me for 7. Oh, Rough Rider pre-combat is perfectly fine. Alright, I might be taking 5 here if they attack with their Swamp. They did not. Geopede. Ugh. Yeah, we're gonna get wrecked by that Ghouldraw Spectre again. Just gonna dump out my hand so I don't have to discard anything. Gonna make it so the Swamp can't block. Although the Coldblade probably blocks the Mountain here, which bounces back to my hand and makes me discard it. That was the obvious trade. They're blocking my 2/2. That's weird. I'm not sure why they're not killing. They might have a Disfigure, I suppose? No? Okay. Not quite sure why they left my Crusher alive. Oh, I guess they thought I wouldn't be able to recast or cast out everything in my hand. And so they didn't want to give me that extra Mountain back. We are in rough shape, friends. I mean, maybe I'm supposed to mulligan that opening hand. 5 lands, Scrabbler, and Grotag Thrasher. Obviously awful. Alright, opponent's got some nice black ones. I'm upset. You guys didn't get to see the value, or rather the power of Valakut. Did not get to see the power of the Valakut. I think our out is top decking a Spire Barrage. Getting the opponent to burn range with Spire Barrage and top decking it. I assume they're doing some amount of trading here. It's silly not to. I'm still not certain why they haven't traded away with the Mountain yet. This is weird. They're taking extra damage for some reason. Okay. Give me a Spire Barrage off the top. I'm actually not dead in 2 turns. Because if I just hold on to the card, then the Ghoul Draws is only a 2 power creature next turn. Oh, this is Magma Rift. They're choosing sacrifice targets. Okay. Well, now they only hit me for 4 max. Are they just attacking with the Nighthawk? Oh god, I was gonna say, what are they doing? But yeah, looks like we're pretty dead here. Goblin Shortcut are not gonna cut it. Looks like that's how the cookie's gonna crumble, kids. Stinky old Ghoul draws Spectre. Stinky old Ghoul draws Spectre. 2, 4, 6. Discard my hand. I guess it wasn't even the Spectre. If I draw Spire Barrage, it was because the Nighthawk got in for 2, but we did not. And that's gonna be the game. Unfortunately for us, Mono Red did not get there, but I think the deck we drafted was sweet. I'm sorry you guys didn't get to see the power of the Valakut. I think probably mulliganing that last hand was very reasonable, but just didn't pan out. So there's a look at Zendikar Worldwake for you. We will get some more drafts on Numot Gaming and on this YouTube channel for you guys as well. Hopefully you enjoyed this look at it. I apologize for not living the dream, but at least we tried. We dreamt, but we woke up. All right, until next time, Kenji signing out. See you later.